The Code of Covenant. This week's parasha, Mishpatim, places us at a critical moment in our history. We come from the lightning and the awe-shaking voice of Sinai, and suddenly the Torah introduces us to a world of civil laws, damages, and oxen. But this shift is not an interruption, it is the culmination. The Torah opens this section with a bridge that Rashi highlights as the most important one. The letter and, which in Hebrew is vav, in the phrase, "and these are the laws that you shall place before them." This connection reveals that the sacred does not end where the everyday begins. God does not dwell only in thunder, but in the transparency of our actions. This bridge is crossed only through the total commitment the people expressed in Naaseh v'nishma. We will do and we will hear. The Kotzker Rebbe, Menachem Mendel of Kotzk, taught that deep understanding is a reward for action only when we dare to get our hands dirty, to act with faith, do our eyes open to hear the voice of God in the smallest details of life. But who is the one who acts? Here the Torah speaks of the Hebrew slave, whom the Or Achaim identifies as our own soul descending into this world. At times, like that slave who prefers his chains and asks to have his ear pierced, we fall in love with our limitations and fears. The Torah warns us, through Rashi's voice, that ear that once heard at Sinai that we are children of freedom, servants of the infinite, not slaves to our habits or to matter itself. Once a soul recognizes its freedom, it assumes its greatest burden, responsibility for the other. The law of the open pit, which the Baal HaTurim elevates to the realm of language, reminding us that we are responsible for the voids we create in others through our words or our indifference. Yet there is a warning that goes straight to the soul and marks the guiding thread of our ethics. You shall not afflict any widow or orphan, for if they cry out to me, I will surely hear their cry. This verse is the heart of Mishpatim. The Rambam explains that the more vulnerable a person is, the more direct their connection to heaven. If we cause pain to those who are small on a spiritual, social level, that pain ascends unfiltered before the Eternal, who appears not as a distant judge, but as the personal garden of the wounded heart. Therefore, according to Keli Yakar, the main work of Rabbi Shlomo Ephraim of Landskirch, one's fellow is not a burden, but someone who is with us to help elevate our own essence. To sustain this level of care, we need balance. The mystery of not cooking a kid in its mother's milk teaches us, from a Kabbalistic perspective, not to confuse the energies of judgment and kindness. We must not use what is meant to nourish in order to destroy, nor allow our sense of justice to turn into cruelty. By mastering this balance and protecting the soul of our fellow, the Torah elevates us and calls us Elohim, a term that Midrash Tanhuma interprets as partners with God in creation. In this act of justice and empathy, the angel appears, the one who guides us on the path and in whom the name of the Eternal dwells. Behold, I send an angel before you to guard you on the way. Be aware of him and heed his voice. Do not rebel against him, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is within him. According to Rabbi Menachem Rekanati, This angel who bears the divine name is the presence of God disguised within our own integrity. This entire path was sealed in the Book of the Covenant, a book that, according to Rabbi Tzadok Cohen, is rewritten each time we renew the Torah through an ethical act. Mishpatim teaches us that holiness is not an isolated inspiration far from the world, but an ethical engineering that transforms the everyday into a tabernacle for the sacred. So now it's your turn. Do not seek holiness outside yourself. Seek it in the integrity with which you rebuild yourself each day. For only when you manage to be light for yourself, you can illuminate the path of others without saying a single word, because those words already flow through your actions. Shabbat Shalom u'meorach.